Have you ever noticed how some people can't stop talking about the latest hit show? Everyone's binging the same series, discussing every plot twist, sharing memes, completely obsessed. And then there's you. You haven't watched it. You have no interest in watching it. And honestly, you don't really care what happens. While everyone else is asking, "Did you see the latest episode?" You're sitting there thinking, "Why does everyone assume I'm watching this?" But here's the real question. Why don't you watch what everyone else is watching? Is it just preference? Is it contrarian behaviour? Or is there something deeper in your psychology that makes you immune to the hype? Stick with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might finally explain why you've never felt the need to follow the crowd, and why that's actually revealing something fascinating about how your mind works. Profile 1. The Autonomy Seeker. You need to choose for yourself. Let's start with the first group. For some people, the moment something becomes massively popular, it loses its appeal. Not because the show is bad, but because the popularity itself feels like pressure. Imagine this. Everyone's telling you, you have to watch this. Your coworkers are talking about it. Your family's asking if you've seen it. Your social media feed is flooded with it. And something inside you just resists. Psychologists call this psychological reactance. It's your brain's automatic response when you feel your freedom to choose is being threatened. When everyone's pushing you towards something, your mind pushes back to protect your sense of autonomy. This isn't about being difficult or contrarian for the sake of it. It's about maintaining control over your own decisions. Studies show that people with high autonomy needs are more likely to resist popular trends, not because they dislike the content itself, but because they need to feel like their choices are genuinely their own, not dictated by social pressure. So when everyone's watching the same show, you're not avoiding it because you think you're better than everyone else. You're avoiding it because your brain is protecting your independence. And here's what's interesting. You might actually watch that show later, once the hype dies down and you can choose it on your own terms, without feeling like you're just following the crowd. This isn't stubbornness. It's self-determination. And it shows up in other areas of your life too. You probably don't like being told what to do, you make decisions based on your own research, and you value authenticity over popularity. Profile 2. The Selective Curator. Your time is too valuable for just okay. Now let's talk about the second group. These are people who don't watch popular shows because they're highly selective about what deserves their attention. You're not avoiding popular TV because of the hype. You're avoiding it because you've learned something important. Just because something is popular doesn't mean it's good. Think about it. How many times have you given in to the hype, watched a must-see show, and thought, that's it, that's what everyone's obsessing over? You've been burned before, you've wasted hours on shows that didn't live up to the hype, and you decided you're not doing that anymore. Psychology research shows that people with high need for cognition, meaning they prefer deep, complex thinking, are often less influenced by popularity and more influenced by quality. They're not interested in what's trending, they're interested in what's actually worth their time. This is linked to what psychologists call selective exposure theory. You actively curate your media consumption based on your own criteria, not based on what's popular. You might prefer niche documentaries, foreign films, older classics, or shows that explore complex themes, content that actually challenges you intellectually or emotionally, rather than just providing easy entertainment. And here's the thing, you're not a snob, you're just honest about what engages you. You'd rather watch one great show that genuinely moves you than 10 mediocre shows just because everyone else is watching them. Your time is limited, your attention is valuable, and you're not going to waste either one on something just because it's trending. This selectivity shows up in other areas too. You probably have a small circle of close friends rather than a huge social network. You're picky about the books you read, the music you listen to, the people you spend time with. You're not trying to be difficult, you're trying to be intentional. Profile 3. The Independent Thinker. You don't need shared experiences to feel connected. And then there's the third group, These are people who simply don't feel the need to watch what everyone else is watching because they don't tie their social connection to shared media consumption. Let's be honest. A lot of people watch popular shows because they want to be part of the conversation. They don't want to feel left out. They want to understand the references, laugh at the memes, participate in the cultural moment. But you don't need that. This isn't loneliness. This isn't social anxiety. It's actually a form of emotional independence. Studies in social psychology show that people with secure attachment styles and high self-esteem are less likely to engage in social conformity behaviours, meaning they don't feel pressure to do what everyone else is doing just to fit in. You're comfortable being on the outside of these conversations. You don't feel FOMO when people are discussing a show you haven't seen. You're confident enough in your relationships that you don't need shared TV shows to maintain them. This is linked to what psychologists call internal locus of control, the belief that your worth and your connections come from within, not from external validation or shared experiences. You know that real connection happens through genuine conversation, shared values, and authentic interaction, not through watching the same Netflix series. And here's what's powerful about this. You're not performing for anyone. You're not watching things to have something to talk about. You're living according to your own interests, and you trust that the people who matter will connect with you regardless. This mindset extends beyond TV. You probably don't follow fashion trends just to fit in. You don't pretend to like things you don't actually like. You're comfortable being different because you know your worth isn't determined by how well you blend in. That's not antisocial, that's authentic. So which one are you? If you don't watch popular TV shows, you're not weird, you're not missing out, and you're definitely not a snob. You might be an autonomy seeker, protecting your freedom to choose without pressure. You might be a selective curator, refusing to waste your time on just okay content. Or you might be an independent thinker, confident enough that you don't need shared experiences to feel connected. Maybe you're a combination of all three, but here's what all three have in common. You're not following the crowd because you don't need to follow the crowd. You're comfortable making your own choices, trusting your own judgment, and living according to your own values, even when that means being on the outside of the cultural conversation. And that takes a level of self-awareness and confidence that a lot of people don't have. The hidden strength. Here's something most people don't realise. Not watching popular TV shows isn't about the TV shows at all. It's about how you move through the world. People who resist popular trends, whether it's TV, fashion, social media, or anything else, are often the same people who question authority, think critically, and refuse to accept things just because that's how everyone does it. You're not a follower by nature. You're a thinker. You evaluate, you decide for yourself. And in a world that's constantly trying to tell you what to watch, what to buy, what to believe, and who to be, that independence is rare. You're not missing out on the latest show. You're living according to your own script, and that's far more interesting than anything on TV. If you don't watch popular TV shows, you're part of a group of people who value autonomy, quality, and authenticity over popularity and social pressure. You're not trying to be different for the sake of it. You're just being true to yourself. And the next time someone asks, "Wait, you haven't watched that?" you can smile and say, "Nope, and I'm perfectly fine with that." Because you are. So which profile resonates with you most? Are you the autonomy seeker, the selective curator, or the independent thinker? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you want more psychology content that actually explains why you are the way you are, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and remember, you don't need to watch what everyone else is watching to be interesting. You already are. See you in the next one.